only to give you an ultimatum. My game has been cut short. I'm sure you've noticed I'm much faster than you. If you don't come to the edge of town at sunset, I'll teleport to a random location in town and just start killing people as fast as I can.
You're bluffing.
Am I? How many people do you think I could kill before you stop me? 2,000? 20,000? That's what I thought. The silence of inevitability. Risk it if you so choose, but I do not hesitate. And I do not bluff.
We're not doing this.
We're not doing what?
I'm tired of playing games, and we can't risk innocent lives. We've got to stop him.
How?
He doesn't stand a chance. He wants to fight us. There's no way he can say no to a fight.
You're right. And you know, we almost had him last time. I mean, sure, now he knows what we can do, but we know what he can do too. You know what? I'm sick and tired of running. I don't care if we lose. We are going to do this.
Yep, this ends here.
Yeah!
What?
Never mind. Yeah, this is it. We're gonna stop him right now.
Yeah, damn it! But first, let's finish this review.
Yeah! Wait, what?
We got this review to finish.
Way to ruin the mood.
What?
I cannot believe my eyes, how the world's filled with filth and lies. But it's plain to see, evil inside of me is on the rise.
So, where were we exactly?
No!
We remember! We remember! Oh!
Yeah, buzz, we get it. Start the next episode.
The next episode begins with this girl reappearing for Tatsuma. In case you don't remember, this is the girl with the violin in the first episode and the girl who was impaled by a steel bar in the fight with Crowboy. How is she still alive? That is the question, isn't it?
Damn. You know, this strawberry milk is too good to question it. Never mind.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, she's hot.
Yeah.
We cut to the rather strange announcement that Aoi is stepping down as student council president, which makes sense since she now considers herself Grand Protector of all Japan. But for Kyoko, why is this a big story? She knows the circumstances, so why would she try to scandalize something that she should know is better kept quiet? For everyone involved!
Maybe Yuya could help explain, since apparently he's been spying on them the whole time.
Out for a little daytime stalking?
Huh?
What the hell are you doing, you big pervert?
Okay, how is he a pervert? I mean, yeah, it could be considered creepy to spy like he's doing, but his intentions are just to check on the girl he likes. And they're not in a locker room, half naked. Whatever, moving on.
We see Komaki re-entering the archery range, where her teammates joke about her leaving the team. But once they're on the line, fun time is over.
If I ever lost the ability to draw my bow,
Well, yeah, I mean, you missed badly, but it wasn't that disgusting.
We cut to the hospital where we see that, like Mizuki, all it takes is light, non-physical trauma to hospitalize a Japanese high school student.
Also, add magic healing to Aoi's growing list of powers. Maybe she is the best qualified to defend Japan. I'm pretty sure everyone else has only one power that they rarely use. She's got like 5 already.
We cut back to evil David Bowie's negative candle zone where he lounges on thin air and Marie Claire hops around as if she doesn't have screws in her skin that ooze Nickelodeon gack.
We have seen the sign of one of the treasures.
Go find it. It must be here somewhere. Somewhere in Tokyo.
What, my scene's over already? This is bullshit!
Hisui, listen to me carefully. It is about time that you also learned of our family's other mission, which we must uphold.
Well, because that wasn't important, we cut to the story of the jawless man from Shigarai breaking news from straight dope TV. With that silliness out of the way, we see that Komaki isn't doing so well. Wait a minute! How did she get out of the hospital? What is this in the foreground? Is it a drunken gnome? What's going on?
Well, apparently she used their powers of off-screen plot hole, and now the other heroes are out searching for her. Wait, weren't they all just there at the hospital together? Anyway, Aoi, Grand Protector of all Japan, stumbles upon a rape in progress, under a streetlight, in plain sight, and saves the girl with a psychokinetic blast. Add that one to the list too.
are you alright?
That is all.
Meanwhile, Daigo is trying to discover the telltale signs of a demon.
Damn it, these guys aren't demons.
Yeah, perhaps his technique needs some refining.
Meanwhile, Yuya slaves over a hot stove cooking lobster, shrimp, and other delicacies in order to express his undying, passionate love that deeply burns for Komaki. However, Komaki... yeah, her. Upon delivery, she confuses the wonderful feast with a bitch and promptly slaps it into oblivion. Yeah, remember those friends who you care about?
You're such an insensitive moron!
Yeah, good luck convincing them to hang around. At least we know this'll be effortlessly resolved when...
Yeah, good thing you saved her, isn't it, Aoi? Now you have to protect people from someone you protected. Isn't as simple as you thought it was, is it?
On a serious note, though, I appreciate the complexity of the question raised by this episode. Was this girl worth saving? Does she deserve to die? I think that while most people would automatically say yes, they wouldn't say that if they were that girl. It's a very difficult question to wrestle with, and I actually think they pull it off well.
While Aoi muses about why butterflies scorn her sensitive, protecting touch, the battle takes to the rooftops and things heat up.
Master.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say things were going to heat up? What I meant to say was that the scene abruptly ends without resolution. Okay.
Okay, so this one time, I was climbing up Pike's Peak, and then my anchor point that was above me started to come loose. So I reached out to my right and grabbed this handhold just as it breaks off completely. I'm sitting there, looking down below me. The ground's a mile beneath. The wind's blowing. Then I start to look, and the rope starts fraying. There was nowhere I could go, when all of a sudden...
While Tatsuma goes to visit Aoi to console her for saving a mass murderer's life, Koichi delivers a pep talk to Komaki that would make Boon Shichi proud.
What the hell are you...
You need to stop all this crying and moaning, she-male. You can't protect the princess all the time. You can't be the prince riding in on a white horse.
What?
Bullshit! My throbbing manly bulge says otherwise!
What's the matter? Did you forget to strap your balls on this morning? Oh, that's right, you're a girl. Maybe I should get some action from you. That's a pretty nice little bitch slap you got there.
He thinks I'm a bitch.
Even though the reason Koichi did that was because Yuya failed miserably, he gives it a second effort, setting masculinity back about 100 years.
I'm sorry. I didn't consider your feelings.
Alright, this scene is a load of freaking crap. What I want to know is why is it in society when a woman does something so horribly insensitive to a man's attempts to, I don't know, simply brighten their day, why it's the man's responsibility to apologize for not treating her like a queen, but more like just a mere princess. You know, I bet Yuya probably slaved over a hot stove cooking all that lobster and shrimp and all types of other delicious, delectable delicacies for this wench. Yet, apparently it's his responsibility to apologize when she tosses it to the floor because it's better suited to be eaten by ants. You know, I'm not saying that she intentionally was disrespectful, but I do want to know, why wasn't she held responsible for this crap? And Yuya, why are you apologizing?
Well, now I know why you'll never get married.
The inevitable conflict with the blonde emo chick finally ignites in downtown, where everyone except Kamaki fends off her attacks. They look to be miserably overwhelmed until Kamaki shoots her with Link's light arrow from a country mile away, and then she uses her sudden powers of teleportation to arrive on scene. And the new bow. Wow. Can I get demon-possessed?
Naturally, they inevitably kill the blonde girl, resulting in Aoi magically curing her death. And as the episode ends, evil David Bowie reveals the source of all Aoi's ridiculous powers.
I found you, Bodhisattva Ai.
Well, I'm sure this becomes relevant, right?
It must. It's not Guyver.
Yeah, right.
The next episode begins with, "Hey, haven't we seen this before?" Actually, the reason is because Tatsuma and Violin Girl are dating now. Yep. It's a bit easy to miss in my opinion, but maybe it's just me. Anyway, we cut back to school where everything is going on as before, including the same birds still crapping on indoor basketball courts, except our heroes are noticeably absent.
We cut to the antique store where they discuss the recent surge in demon attacks.
I've made a chart of where all the incidents have been occurring.
Wow, so many.
You see, the red X's are the demon attacks, and the black X's are all the KFCs. I love popcorn chicken.
Koznu. Tendo Koznu. It does seem fairly unlikely that he would drop his vendetta just like that. I'm sure it will only be a matter of time before he comes up with a new plan.
Because they can't decide on anything to do about anything, they leave. And for the second time, Kamaki starts acting really gay for Aoi. So, which is it? Are you dating Yuya, or do you want to be with Aoi?
What do you say, Aoi? You coming with us? There's nothing like a hot steaming bowl of ramen when you're feeling down in the dumps, right?
I guess you're right.
Seriously, she's not acting like a really good friend here. She's acting like a guy who has a crush on Aoi. This is still very confusing, but anyway, it just so happens that Kyoko was hanging out on a ladder under a sewer drain to intervene with the plot, just in case the five of them headed this way, and, you know, she's strong enough to lift the massive steel disc with just her neck.
Anyway, she reveals to all the other characters that Tatsuma's dating Violin Girl, whose name turns out to be
Masayo Hirosaka. She's in class 2-5 at Sakurazuka High School in Shinagawa. She's 5'6" and weighs 93 pounds, and her measurements are a secret.
Who gives a damn?
Good question. Anyway, it turns out that the circumstances of Sayo's return are questionable at best.
Both her parents died during that whole crow attack thing. She somehow managed to survive it, but from what I hear, she's been in the hospital until just recently.
Koichi can't shake a bad feeling about the girl, and Aoi gets a really bad feeling about it. But because the show is a serious case of ADHD, we cut to the scene of Hisui reading that scroll from the last episode. Only this time, it's a flashback, apparently.
Hisui, listen to me carefully.
It will be baked, and then there will be cake.
It is said that at times one appears who has the power to read the dragon stream. This person can discern who are the chosen among us and lead them to eternal salvation. That individual often holds great power in whatever era they exist, and this is a source of much conflict. They're known as the Bodhisattva Eye. Hisui, listen to me carefully, and don't forget that if the one who possesses that star of fate ever appears to you, you must immediately...
Lady Aoi.
Immediately what?
You must immediately tap to us.
Anyway, because the old man apparently had a tragic heart attack mid-flashback, we cut to Aoi on a dark abandoned street where absolutely nothing can go wrong.
Why, good evening. This power, you're terrified of it. This little power of yours needs harnessing, so what do you say?
I just want to protect them. I don't want anyone else hurt.
That's all the more reason, don't you think? All your friends, everyone in this city, can be safe.
Luckily, because Aoi is a girl, she's immune to logic, and evades David Bowie's evil wiles. She's finally too overcome with her new powers, Bowie's evil words, and everything else to go to school. Koichi tries to tell Tatsuma, but because Sayo's got him so wrapped around her finger, even he doesn't care.
After some nauseatingly cute scenes between the two, we cut to Hisui by a pond. Because he hasn't unfurrowed his brows for 3 whole episodes, Koichi follows him. After a brief argument, Flashback Man returns from beyond the grave to finally reveal what Hisui has to do with the Bodhisattva Eye.
You must immediately kill that person regardless of what their circumstances may be. This person must be vanquished by the hand of a Kisaragi before the dragon stream is disrupted.
But why?
It's an accursed power that would lead to the world's destruction.
No, that's not what the flashback said. This is what the flashback said.
This person can discern who are the chosen among us and lead them to eternal salvation.
Maybe if you explain to us how any of that means that the world will end.
This person must be vanquished by the hand of a Kisaragi before the dragon stream is disrupted.
Oh yeah, that dragon stream that totally exists. How do so few people know about something that the entire existence of the known world depends on? It would be like if most adults didn't understand the concept of the sun and why we need it as well as the moon. This makes no sense, and it's also never adequately explained.
Anyway, the two fight and argue over whether or not Aoi should die, but because she wanders in on their argument over exactly how dangerous she is, she decides to end it all.
However, because she's super necessary for the plot, a BS cloud of pink cave drawings catch her and she's presumably transported to the Candle Zone.
But then, Kyoko finds a picture she took and... Wait, didn't we see this picture earlier? It didn't look anything like this. And how could Tatsuma not have noticed an obvious zombie arm? I wish we could get answers for these things, but the really important thing here is that Sayo is undead. Which is probably not a good thing.
I don't know. I mean, I just don't really think you know what love is until you felt the cold, stiff embrace of rotting flesh. I'm an alien. What?
Tatsuma was walking Sayo to the train for her to go stay with her relatives, but because he's hardcore fallen for her now, he gets on the train too, and as the episode ends, we realize just how traumatic this show is about to become.
Well, it can't really get any worse than that. I mean, dating a zombie is pretty much rock bottom. Wouldn't you say, Phoenix? What?
I just realized... they're dating, right? What if they...
Oh no. No, get out of my head. No. Get out of my head! Ah!
The 11th episode begins with Tatsuma still oblivious to the fact that his girlfriend only wants him for his brains, while the other heroes desperately search for Aoi.
Tell me what the hell is going on here. Is Aoi okay? And what about Kisaragi?
Shut up! Just go look for her!
There's no joke here. It's just a very tense sequence. Very well done. In the midst of the chaos, Kyoko arrives to tell Koichi the bad news.
Focus! This is something you need to see. It was just her left arm at first, but then...
I knew it all along.
Sayo has a pretend conversation with her imaginary uncle, claiming that he can't come pick them up, but Tatsuma wants her so badly that he's still not the least bit suspicious. Wake up, man! Your balls could be on the line.
To be honest, I don't know what's actually worse, that joke or what actually happens. Check it out.
You must have thought you were just moments away from spooning with your cute little girlfriend. I'm afraid that wasn't meant to be.
We're, kind of sorry for this joke, but it has to be made.
While the zipper-scarred goon from the second episode gives Koichi a desperate ride to save Tatsuma, Aoi appears, and all is not well.
I think I flipped on this one. Hisui should have killed her, but now it's too late. Aoi gets the 8 hands breath sword and the demoniacal horde is finally revived. But while that's happening, evil David Bowie reveals that he planted a demon inside of Sayo right after she flatlined in the hospital. Across dimensions. Yeah, this is pretty far-fetched, but we did already have a giant demon crow, so it's hardly time to complain now.
Anyway, it turns out that Tatsuma is the vessel for one of those dragons that Flashback Man was talking about. And Evil David Bowie, is desperate to figure out his secret.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to trust me that this will make sense eventually. In the meantime, enjoy this giant tentacle orgy.
Sayo, who is somehow still alive at this point, starts melting and gives her last gasp to save Tatsuma from the tentacle rape.
This is where the story ends. You little...
This apparently messes up everything between the sun and moon or something, and while the demoniacal horde surrounds the rest of the heroes, Tatsuma faces off with the evil David Bowie on a cliff. I wish we knew what caused them to return from the negative zone, or how they got to a cliff.
Kozuno uses the same logic as black people who blame present-day white people for slavery, going all out to kill Tatsuma for the death of his mother, which is the woman who we've seen hang herself about 500 times now. Eventually, Kozuno lands what should be a killing blow, but Tatsuma just refuses to die.
Just as the other heroes are about to be consumed by the demoniacal horde, Lightning Head and those 2 unnamed twin girls appear.
Is that... It's Raito Oman!
Oh, the name's Lightning Head, moron.
Lady Kamaki! Hinata, what? You're here too, Yukino?
I love how the show expects us to just roll with this and act like we're supposed to know who these girls are. They've had like 1 or 2 scenes before this, and the reason that Komaki has to say their names is because they haven't been named until now. Nice.
Hey, Waxworth Montalban, my lifelong friend whom I have not seen in the longest of times.
Hey, Phoenix the First, man who I have known since I played in the sandbox. It is so good to finally see you and be reunited after these many years of not communicating.
Oh, you could say that again, bosom buddy.
Luckily, they're able to use their inexplicable powers of lightning teleportation to rescue the heroes from evil Aoi, and back on the beach, Koichi arrives not one moment too soon.
I'm glad that after a somewhat short fight, the presence of one entire extra person was enough to put evil David Bowie under pressure and he pussed out. Come on, he's an intimidating villain. He shouldn't be fleeing.
But with Tatsuma saved, everyone lives to fight another day as the episode ends.
Wait a second. Without Aoi's healing powers, how is Tatsuma gonna get healed? I mean, that was a nearly mortal wound he just suffered.
He's gonna be magically healed in the next episode. Duh.
The next episode begins with evil David Bowie once again lounging in his private Candleverse.
The time for revenge has arrived.
What time is it?
Revenge 30.
Hello, Lord Yagyu.
So, what's he up to?
He has control of some girl who's supposed to have the Bodhisattva eye or something. He's making some kind of plan.
Let him do as he likes.
Huh? Are you sure about that?
It'll be worth watching.
Yes, let him be the villain. I'm way too cool to be bothered with this crap.
Meanwhile, Tatsuma clings to life in the hospital. Everyone waits, tense, while the frog behemoth woman chants some chi spell to heal him. The lesson to be learned here? The Japanese don't believe in modern medicine. Health insurance must be dirt cheap.
Oh. Hey, Doc, I've got cancer, AIDS, and lupus. Could you help me, please?
Oh, sure.
Wow. I feel all better. Thanks, Doc. You know what? I'm really glad we didn't settle for that techno what's-it that those idiot Americans use.
Oh, you silly goose. Honk honk.
Captain Eyebrows shows up just in time to give a massive yet much-needed exposition dump about the Bodhisattva Eye.
There is an individual known as the Bodhisattva Eye.
Bodhisattva Eye?
This person has the power to read the dragon stream and thereby select the chosen from all humanity and lead them to salvation. However, this person is also a source of conflict, precisely because they may use the power of the dragon stream. If one could manipulate the dragon stream at will, then bringing the world under your control would be no great effort. It is said that the one who holds the Bodhisattva Eye also holds a certain amount of power, the ultimate power of healing.
Komaki can't believe everything she's hearing about her girl boner crush / super BFF, especially when Hisui's role in this is explained.
Tell me what the hell you did to Aoi!
I tried to kill her. The Bodhisattva Eye. The one with the power of the Bodhisattva Eye will bring doom upon this world. With that being the case, I sought to kill her before she...
You son of
Yeah, we get it. You're in love with her. But if drastic steps aren't taken, the world will end. That includes you. Why is this so hard for you to understand?
Women can't process logic. They have an allergic reaction to it. I'm talking hives.
Yeah, whatever. Because nothing more important was going on, Captain Eyebrows opens up another can of exposition.
The House of Kozunu launched a coup against the ruling parties. The reason was that the shogunate attempted to kidnap one of their daughters, who had been born with the power of the Bodhisattva Eye. In order to protect the girl, the Kozunu made use of the dark arts and used force to rebel against the might of the shogunate.
That's how war is. There's no good fighting or bad fighting. Even that fight was just a struggle for power when you come down to it. So, Kisaragi, what's up? You still gonna kill Aoi over this?
Why does that make any difference at all? I mean, is it not still true that she could bring about the end of the world? It's like finding out Galactus has to eat planets because his parents used to abuse him and underfeed him when he was young. Would that really make you reconsider letting him eat Earth? Of course not! Because he'd be eating Earth! I don't care if the poor bastard is on the verge of starvation. He can keep his celestial lips off my planet.
After Lord of the Brow reveals that Kozuno's mother was hanged because the rest of the clan didn't believe that she was really one of them, Tatsuma gets tired of being excluded from the plot and wills himself back to life.
I felt what he felt. A deep, intense sadness inside him. I want to save him too. I want to save the soul of Tendo Kozuno.
Don't give me that shit!
Great! He's siding with the chick who's gonna destroy the world! I say we string him up!
Before the Lynch Tatsuma movement can get off the ground, Kozuno activates his incantation to fully revive the demoniacal horde, causing Aoi's eye to bulge out of her head. Thanks for that.
This causes Aoi to be skull-raped by pure evil, which I hear is rough on the eye socket. And as the heroes assemble for the final confrontation, the episode ends.
Let's go! Final battle!
Yeah, I've got nothing to say. Let's go.
The next episode begins with Motorcycle Vector Stash talking to some guy, but it's incredibly irrelevant. The episode actually begins with the crew racing off to fight and Aoi being tortured by the darkness that is reviving the demoniacal horde. She might be difficult to rescue at this point. Just saying. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, the battle gets underway and...
Ignorant fool.
Yeah, you guys are so screwed. While the heroes take on Genbu of the 4 Saint Beasts, some rhino chick, and Dark Yoda, Tatsuma tries to save Aoi, with mixed results.
Yeah, I bet you'd like to be inside of this.
This is a really interesting way of protecting me, Aoi.
Of course, Tatsuma heavily abuses the power of love to perform an exorcism on Aoi. Maybe the Catholic Church should look into this. And also to weaken all the demons, and the Kozuno horde is defeated as Kozuno loses a hand. Well, that was unavoidable.
I want to save you, too.
Why do you despise the Kozuno line so much? You're the one who gave birth to me!
Maname! Even so, I still want to save you.
Consider yourself saved, bitch.
Apparently he went to medical school with Dr. Bunshichi.
When was the last time you took a shit? Of course, though, because Kozuno has tragically done too much evil to be saved, his ancestors drag him into the ground, and Motorcycle Vector Stash, whose real name is apparently Lord Yagyu, hands down his judgment as the episode ends.
And so one star has fallen. The foolish young Tendo Kozuno.
The next episode begins with the incredibly important origin story of Tatsuma's love for strawberry milk. I don't know how the plot would hold together without it.
Oh, by the way, does Hio seem okay to you? Huh? He was out all of last week, you know. I wouldn't expect him to be out sick. I must admit, he seems like he's always drifting off.
What are you giggling about? He's probably been absent because you disemboweled him, bitch.
For some reason, everyone is taking everything way too lightly and... What the hell is going on behind Tatsuma? What is in those bags?
Alright guys, what do you give me for this fresh plasma? I swiped it from the Red Cross this morning.
Actually, this episode is really boring for the most part. Hisui goes backpacking in a suit because he owns no other clothes. Lightning Head plays guitar. The Dream World guy tries to hit on the nurse. Everybody acts like high school students. Rabbit Man still likes rabbits. Kyoko is still a crazy woman. But things start to get interesting when Tatsuma returns with his parents.
Oh my, is she one of your friends from school?
Yeah.
What? You're a potter?
Nice. So you're an artist?
Oh, no. It's more like a hobby. What's the matter? Why so glum, huh? Hymns. Oh, yeah, I heard it. Hymns.
Oh, goodness. Glad I packed this seed. Otherwise, I might have starved.
Actually, these wonderfully kind people are Tatsuma's foster parents.
Now you know.
After Tatsuma hallucinates the show's next villain, we cut to the blonde girl who used to be a villain, being harassed by some homeless people.
They call it amnesia when you can't remember nothing, right? Hey, girl, come on over here. This stuff is delish. You come have some sushi with us now, you hear?
Yeah, guess who this guy is? We don't know because we never hear his name, but he's going to become an important character. Yeah!
Captain Eyebrows gives the heroes the worst Saint Nick present ever, Kozunu's severed hand. And after a flashback that we've seen like 5 times, and an explanation about Kozunu's ancestors that we've heard 3 times, we cut to them in front of a dojo where Hisui has returned. It's a joyful reunion, now that he's back from sealing away the 10 sacred treasures. A time for celebration and...
He's transforming into a demon. Master, this is... What the hell is that?
It's a space station.
The power of the dark arts is manifesting itself through a spell that someone has cast upon him. The human we knew as Tendu Kozunu perished in the Todoroki Valley. What stands before us now is a demon, fully changed in both body and mind.
This is actually an incredibly tragic scene. Most of them don't want to kill Kozuno at this point because they know his story, but they're forced to stop him because he's trying to do something, kill them? I don't know. But he's a giant red-horned demon monster. Isn't that really reason enough?
I won't let anyone die. No matter what.
Really? This again? How much you want to bet this doesn't go well?
Hisui, hang on! Hisui! Hisui!
Heal him!
No, this time, one of the most honorable, admirable characters just has to die. Wonderful. Emo McSlashathon got to be healed, but Hisui, the protector of the dragon stream, bites the dust. Yeah, you know what? Koichi and Tatsuma kill the David Bowie monster, but whatever. The episode ends.
Alright, well, who's gonna be the villain now?
No, remember that Chaos guy from like 10 episodes ago?
Yeah, what about him?
Him and Motorcycle Vector Stash. Vroom vroom.
Motherfucker.
The 15th episode begins with a whole bunch of people who have apparently been murdered by other people who all seem to be sauntering away from the scene of the crime. Well, why should they rush? We all know that in Japan the police are near non-existent.
We cut to our heroes discussing the tragedy they have all just witnessed at the hands of...
I was just trying to freshen up my look, that's all. It's not like anything happened between us.
How you like that? Conclusion jumping hag.
Listen to yourself. And you didn't notice until this very moment, insensitive bonehead.
Oh, shut up.
Or Aoi's hairstyle. I don't follow the logic of this whatsoever.
Huh? Come on, don't get Kisaragi, I noticed you got a new hairstyle, huh?
Hey, I just noticed that.
Since we weren't on screen until now, it's almost like we didn't exist. Or maybe no one in the audience would have noticed if I didn't point it out really blatantly. What is my purpose in this show again?
They walk down the street, arguing over what to do about the murders we just saw when Yoda in human form walks by, disrupting their conversation. Wow, 2 Yoda characters in one show? These writers must have loved Attack of the Clones.
He talks to Hisui about other Guardians and telling them something, and we cut to another incredibly important conversation.
He's got it going again, huh?
What the hell? I told Lightning Head I'd play bass.
I don't think you're cut out for it, Kyoichi.
Hey, dude, yeah, Rage Against the Machine is getting back together. We should go see them, like, tonight.
Fox, our lives are on the line, and this entire city could be destroyed if we don't stop Vicar. We can't do that right now.
Rage Against the Machine. You just don't know how to have fun.
But because that wasn't weird enough, we cut to a house of transvestites? Well, I guess it must be relevant because that hobo from earlier is here.
That's not what I meant. I was only saying that you're kind of hairy for being women.
Because this guy is too hilarious for his own good, they deal with him swiftly.
You wrapped him in a straw mat and threw him into the river. I see.
This might be funny if the episode didn't begin with a slew of horrible murders. Just saying. Your timing's pretty damn awful.
Anyway, Yuya sees someone from about a mile away and somehow recognizes him. He takes off running and sees the guy again, but he vanishes, magic style. And we cut to more guys attempting murders who also have demon powers, wearing masks, calling themselves Generals of the Martial Fist. That actually sounds intimidating. How long are these guys going to be a threat?
Oh, what the hell? We go from that disappointing revelation to everyone training again and more homeless breakdancing, because we desperately needed more of that, when suddenly fights break out with our heroes and the Martial Fist guys. They also attack the hobo guy for some reason. They really want us to think he's relevant, don't they?
Fish! Fish! Just give me a fish! I'll give you a fish, motherfucker!
So, yeah, remember these guys being generals? They all get their asses kicked way too quickly. There's no way we can take any of them seriously. While all this is going on, Yuya decides to wander to an abandoned train yard because... And he runs into the guy we saw earlier.
Yeah, we'll explain this in a bit, but first Koichi faces off against his opponent.
Double damn.
Maybe one or two of these guys are worth taking seriously.
Speaking of two, Tatsuma's been at Sayo's funeral, honoring the precious memory of the only girl he's ever loved, when his twin brother shows up, and then the episode just ends.
Well, this better get good.
Sorry, but do you remember how mad I was at the start of this whole review, right?
Yeah, why was that?
Well, it's because of the second half of this story. It's basically like the second half of Death Note.
Motherfucker!
The 16th episode begins with way too much going on. The last of the Martial Fist guys who attacked Dream Boy at the hospital are defeated. Tatsuma and his twin... No, seriously. This guy looks and fights just like him. Fight to a draw.
People sure do terrible things, don't they?
Okay, I'm sorry, but it's time to get serious here. Tatsuma loved Sayo. It cut him deeply when she betrayed him and then melted in front of his eyes. He wanted to be with her always. He was going to leave his whole Rao fight the power destiny behind just to be with her. And yet, he's apparently inconsiderate enough to demolish her entire funeral wake just because some guy who looks like him happened to show up. Yeah. You want to know who this weird guy isn't? Yeah. There's no evidence presented in this show. Instead, Tatsuma demolishes the last memories of the girl he loved because some guy who kinda looks like and fights like him shows up to challenge him. Bullshit!
Anyway, while all this is going on, Yuya refuses to fight the bald guy who's trying to turn him into stone. With magic or something, but a whole bunch of abandoned buildings end up getting demolished instead. This somehow ends up involving Kamika, but I think that's just so they can have a scene together to perpetrate the farce that they're in a relationship.
I noticed you've got a girl with you. And look who it is. Megami High's Komaki Sakurai.
Sakurai!
Can't say I dislike a feisty woman.
Stop!
Wow. This got dark really quick.
So Yuya gets struck by red lightning or something, and that's all for now, I guess. The rest of the heroes follow this guy, who we haven't seen since the first episode, to some misty temple where Lord Eyebrows waits for them. It's apparently for training and stuff.
You've lied!
You assholes deceived us! I cannot allow you to leave this place.
Actually, no, that's not it at all. Lord Eyebrows trapped them here to force them to listen to his exposition. I'm not even kidding. He goes on another diatribe about the Dragon Stream and poorly explains how this relates to the Martial Fist generals, but ultimately can't explain how they have their powers, making the whole scene entirely pointless.
The Martial Fist is a dark organization whose business is murder.
Bullshit! Yeah, the one guy that Tatsuma fought is. Thanks for flashing to that. Everyone else was defeated and embarrassed too. They're not imposing. All I want to know about is what the deal was with the bald guy that wanted to kill Yuya. They gave us 2 very brief scenes so far, so all we know is that they used to be friends. Maybe. They could have just, I don't know, kinda knew each other. I want information, damn it!
Well, you're about to get it, because we finally cut to their backstory. They only show a part of it here that doesn't even make complete sense, but we're just going to unload the whole thing now, so that we don't have to spend time on it later. Basically, the two of them used to be all rah-rah, fight the power, and they hated their fathers. While Baldi's father was legitimately a horrible person, Yuya mostly hated his father because he owned a big company, and we all know how inherently evil that is. But he also neglected Yuya in the wake of his wife's death. Yuya was left without a mother, and his father poured himself into his work and became very disconnected from Yuya, so Yuya hated him for it. Because of this angsty BS, the two planned to kill their fathers at the same time. However, Yuya, already having second thoughts, walked in on his father pouring his soul out to his dead wife about how he regretted everything he had done since her death. Seeing his father for that flawed yet loving person that he was, Yuya realized he couldn't go through with the plan. However, Baldi here was not so sane. He did murder his father. Brutally. In cold blood. With a butcher knife. So he got hauled off to the clink. And a shocked Yuya was left to rah-rah fight the power all on his own.
You know, the real problem with this whole story is that even if we were to go from the shorter clip we showed you to the longer, full story here, this guy never makes any sense. He's never relatable. I mean, basically, he's mad at Yuya for quote-unquote betraying him. But what that works out to in reality is, he's mad at Yuya Daigo because he didn't murder his own father in cold blood.
Yeah, everybody can empathize with that story.
So, yeah, for reasons yet to be explained, the bald dude transforms into a giant black energy hydra, and Yuya transforms into Byakko the White Tiger. Not joking here. And as they fight to the death, this somehow causes Kamika to be healed from her stone curse. Because Saint Beasts, and the episode comes to an end with a shot of Koichi recovering at the home for retired transvestites.
Hey, now that he's that white tiger thing, they shouldn't really have any trouble winning, like, every single fight from here on out.
Yeah. Keep dreaming.
Because we have Yuya's backstory and he's virtually a secondary character, the next episode begins with Koichi's backstory, or at least a scene of it, where he's beaten up by some thugs but refuses to quit fighting. I knew there was a reason I liked this dickhead. But the awesome flashback is interrupted by Yoda Man, who decides to be that guy and just starts banging a hammer in the same room where Koichi is sleeping. Why? I don't know. He's a dick, I guess.
After a shot of this guy with long hair, who is apparently the master of the martial fist, surrounded by a bunch of air totems or something, we cut to the group trying to make sense of how Byakko the White Tiger actually exists.
It's hard to believe that the demon could have been Daigo.
Excuse me, but he saved Kamika's life. And didn't you guys get all your powers from a demon? What's the big problem here?
He transformed into this giant white demon and ripped the guy into pieces. I saw it! It happened right before my eyes.
Seriously, I really don't get this. Imagine Bulma reacting this way when Goku transformed into a Super Saiyan, weeping over him as if he were lost to her forever or some such nonsense. I guess maybe the mentality is that Byakko is more akin to Ozaru the Great Ape, but he seemed pretty well under control and fought the Black Hydra Baldo with no problems and didn't go on a bloodthirsty destructive rampage. So, why the big depress fest? This should be a time to celebrate. No one stands a chance against you now.
Whatever. It's time for more exposition. Enough whining.
There is a power that exists in this world known as the Golden Dragon. It is a great power, which is at the heart of all creation. It is said that those who are endowed with this power will control the world. However, in order for the power of the Golden Dragon to become manifest, 4 other powers that protect it must be invoked. Seiru, Suzaku, Genbu, and Byakko. These are collectively known as the powers of the 4 guardian deities. It is said that they hold the powers of darkness in check and protect the Golden Dragon. And when all 4 powers have been properly invoked, peace will come to this world.
Stop talking about this! You're wrong! That thing wasn't Daigo!
No, she's not gonna ruin the show! I have to stop her! Dude, she's animated, you can't stop her! I have to try!
I'm sorry.
Because even Lord Eyebrows is sick of Komaki betraying her own character, we cut to Koichi waking up. He discovers that Yoda Man has been secretly making weapons for the team all along, and like the real Yoda, is an awesome sage. Also, like Yoda, he puts Koichi through a cryptic training ritual, forcing him to carve a new sword out of a rough plank of wood.
What does he expect me to do?
That is why you fail.
The process of him making his new boken is intercut with images of Koichi's childhood, where his father was apparently murdered in the street and in front of Koichi, and he takes his father's boken to get revenge. Yeah, that sword that the martial fist guy broke was the last thing that Koichi had to remember his father. Hardcore.
We then see the continuation of the first scene in the episode, where the man watching from the shadows takes out the goons for beating up a little kid, Kyusho Kamui, who adopts Koichi as his pupil. We then see Kamui kicking Koichi's ass throughout history until he's finally beaten him bad enough that he stays down.
Why? Tell me why! Where is your sword pointed at? Your past? Revenge for your father? The one who's taken the edge off that sword is yourself.
Wow. Hardcore. I friggin' love Koichi. The fact that we can already tell from this scene that he's about to leave his past behind and become a new monster is awesome. I can't wait.
Meanwhile, the procession of cryptic totems begins as Miss Alucard, the teacher who has been virtually irrelevant the whole time, wraps up her pointless detective mission by watching it happen. Yeah, that was going on, but we ignored it. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Anyhow, the totems travel to the bamboo forest, where the last 2 remaining members of the Martial Fist destroy the whole forest with a cheap after effect. However, Yuya is stricken by the memory of finding Baldy with his father's life juice all over him, and explodes? No! He's Byakko again! Yes!
Apparently, everyone still sees this as a bad thing for reasons completely unexplained, and as he destroys the totems floating in the sky, Kamika shoots him with a magic energy arrow shot from a magic energy bow, and as Koichi arrives, new sword in hand, the episode ends.
She killed Byakko. That bitch.
Hey, calm down. We're about to see the rematch between Koichi and that blonde guy.
Alright. Oh, son of a bitch.